I know when you're starting to record, you're going. Okay. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to this first class of Pathway to 7 Million C group. This is the third time we're running this program. We run it every 11 weeks, and we run it simultaneously. So we have one starting, and the Thursday class is halfway through. So this is day one of Class C or Workshop C. It will run about 11 weeks. We want to thank Mark Casamasina of NJ Lenders. He is supporting this program by providing us with the flyers that we will be using. I will get to all of that as we move on through today's class. So what you're looking at in front of you is a graph directly out of the Millionaire Real Estate Agent. You are going to be so sick of seeing this graph. I know it looks confusing to you right now. But over the coming weeks, we're going to work through every step on the left-hand side of our METs and on the right-hand side of our have not METs. And I do want to apologize in advance because I can hear the dog that is sleeping below me snoring. So if you hear the snoring dog, just ignore him. He's very sweet, but he's got a snoring issue. Anyway, okay, so here we go. Pathway to 7 million. So today, we're really going to talk about realtors and how they get where they are and how they wind up in trouble. So that's one of the things we're going to start with. And so historically, I want to say, what happens, and I'm going to say newer real estate agents, but oftentimes we see this a lot with experienced agents as well. But what happens with newer real estate agents? First thing I can tell you as a manager and a recruiter for many, many years is they get in the business because they love houses. They want to sell houses. They love houses. They love decorating houses. They love everything about houses. What they don't realize is that this business is not about houses. This business is about prospecting for people who might buy a house. Showing houses, selling houses is secondary to all of the hard work, which is the prospecting of your contacts and everybody you know, everybody you meet out there in the world, to hope that maybe they will buy a house at some point in the future. So when agents get into this business because they love houses, they have no idea what they're actually signing up for. So we have to help them to truly understand this. The second thing that happens with newer agents and oftentimes with experienced agents is they have little money and they have no idea how to use that money to help them generate more business, right? Or they have no money to generate more business and they just want to go and look in houses, right? So this is a problem. And then with experienced agents, one of the things that we see that becomes a problem with them is that they live off of what they make. In this business, you are an independent contractor. You are collecting every single penny into your check that belongs to you, right? But you have to dole that out to make sure that you are supporting your business and in addition to supporting your life, right? So all of these agents wind up falling out of the game for lots of different reasons. So what we're going to do is we have to figure out how we're going to change the game. How are we going to make it so that all real estate agents who love houses understand that, yeah, you love houses, but in order to be able to get out there with your customers and clients, you have to find customers and clients who want to buy houses. We have to understand that even if we're making just a little bit of money, whether we're experienced or not, that we have to invest back into our business, right? So we're going to work through in this workshop a couple of different modules that all come from the Millionaire Real Estate Agent. You can see it. It is sitting here on my desk, and it is always sitting on my desk because I refer to it so often, right? So we're going to help you make money in this business, but more than just make money. We're going to teach you how to take that money and thrive both in your business and in your life. Right? And if you follow the models that are set forth in the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, you'll see that MREA. If you're not familiar with that, that's Millionaire Real Estate Agent. If you follow the models that are set forth in that book, and admittedly, some of them are old and we did update them. There is apparently a new book coming. But if you follow them, you will find success in this business. So Pathway to 7 Million deals with two models from Millionaire Real Estate Agent. The first one is the economic model. You have to understand that you need to have an economic plan in order to have a strong business. If you follow the economic model that we're giving you today, you will have the money you need to build your business one day at a time. One sale builds on another sale, builds on another sale, okay? You will also have the money you need to live. Getting a check in real estate is not a bonanza. You cannot take that $10,000 and go out and blow it on something. You have to have plans for that, right? We're going to work through that today. The second model, which is that pretty little graph that we saw in the beginning, is the lead generation model. Okay, we are going to beat that lead generation model up over the next 10 weeks. And if we really dig into it and we really follow the lead generation model, these are the things you're going to find. Okay, the first thing is you are going to have consistent leads. Consistency in this business is more important than anything else. I can't tell you how many agents fall into the wave. I call it the Porsche versus welfare mentality, right? You're out there, you're working with buyers, and oh, look, I'm making all this money, Woohoo, I'm rich, buying a Porsche. Ooh, all the houses close, right? You collect all that money, and you've been so busy at the top of the wave, helping your customers and clients buy a house, that when you go down after that, oh my goodness, you're in this up and down, right? You don't have any other buyers because you've been so busy with them up here at the top. All of a sudden you have no money, right? You're unemployed. You have nobody you're working with. You have to work in your business consistently so that your business goes this way. So we're going to talk a lot about the Porsche versus welfare model, that wave that real estate agents find themselves on, and getting consistent leads so that you go like this, and so that you don't have that wave that you have to deal with. Not only that, if you follow this model, you will build on this model. So we are going to work with 100 to 150 people in this particular workshop that are already in your database. If you have more than that, you're going to have to take this workshop a couple of times in order to get through your entire database. At the end, or as you continue to meet people while you are going through this program, you're going to add them to it and add them to it and add them to it. And there's something so that every single time you have a new person that you've met, you can plug them in and you will take them so that they create you consistent leads in the future. So you can build on this model. If you have 200 people in your database today, in 10 years, that can be 2,000 people in your database, and they will all be simmering and ready to give you leads all the time. And then finally, why do we want those 2,000 people in our database simmering and ready all the time? We want that because we want to be able to sell this business. When you have a thriving business, you should be able to sell it. And you're not selling yourself, you're selling your database and what they're expecting from you as the professional and what they expect to give back to you as the professional. So if you follow these lead generation models, you will be able to have consistent leads. You will have this model that you'll be able to build on and a business that you can sell in the future. That is the goal of Pathway to 7 million. Okay. First thing we're going to start with today, most important though, is the economic model, because most agents, this is where they wind up in the, in the crapper, excuse my language, because they don't follow an economic model. They get a check in, they need the money, they work and they take that money, and then all of a sudden they have no money, right? So the economic model, as written by Gary Keller and friends in the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, is referred to as the 30-30-40 model. What does that mean? That means 30% of your income goes to what they call the cost of sale. The cost of sale in Keller Williams, if you're a Keller Williams agent, is very simple. Before you cap, you're typically on a 70-30 split, right? That 70-30 split, the 30% that goes into the market center is your cost of sale. Okay, that's what it costs you. After you cap, that's another thing, because then you're collecting that cost of sale back into yourself, right? The second 30 of the 30 the economic plan is what you're going to put back into your business. 30% of your income goes to the cost of sale. 30% of your income goes back into your business, and 40% of your income you get to live on. Okay, it's simple. you only get to live on 40% of that, of everything that you earn, right? We're going to go through this whole thing, but the most important thing that you need to understand, and that Pathway to 7 Million is going to show you how to do in a very economical way, is that you need to invest in your business in order to build it. Hard stop. If you are not investing back into this business, then it is not going to grow. So you have to understand that you cannot, after your cost of sale, and you take that 70% check before you cap back from the market center, that you have to invest a good portion of it, 30% of it, back into your business in order for it to grow. So let's look at this. We're going to break down this 30-30-40 model a little bit more for you. I have done this personally for years. Bill Boswell has a slightly different model that we will talk about as well. But here's the reality. I am scared to death of a couple of things for real estate agents. The two main ones are they don't pay their taxes and they don't have money for retirement, right? So you have to put in your brain that you're going to separate all of this money out. I call it the envelope system. In my life, I've always called it the envelope system because my mother literally had envelopes on a hutch in the kitchen that she'd put money away for different things, right? So I want you to think about this, that you have different envelopes or different accounts for these various things in your life. And I'm very serious when I say different separate accounts for these things. If you have to go to Capital One or to whatever the bank is online and open these accounts today, you need to do it. Okay. You need an envelope system, and the accounts that you need. I went too fast. One, you need a retirement account. If you don't have a retirement account right now, you're going to be working till you're 80 because you have to work till you're 80. I don't want you to have to work till you're 80. I want you to work when you're 80 because you want to work. That's a totally different scenario. But you have to put money away for yourself because you are an independent contractor. The second thing you need to do is you need to put together a tax account. If you follow the specific percentages that we're giving you here today under the Millionaire Real Estate Agent economic model, and you put this money in your tax account, and you make your quarterly payments, I promise you on April 15th, you will have a big check sitting in that account of money that you do not owe the federal government. And that is a nice surprise April bonus for you. But you have to put the money away because you don't know, right? You have to set it away in every single deal. You need a business account. You need to set money away for your business every single check. You need a savings account. This is where Bill and I kind of differ. And it's interesting because when I was a real estate agent, I was working more under Bill's model. I had, and Bill works with, a long-term savings account and a short-term savings account. My long-term savings account was, God forbid the transmission went, or the roof, I needed roof or whatever. So that was money I never touched. My short-term savings account was money, that, I don't know, we want to go on vacation or that kind of stuff. Bill runs it where he has two savings accounts. One is his short-term savings account. One is his long-term savings account. The difference that Bill says, which is kind of fun, is that the short-term savings was his fun money that he had to spend every month. So it was a smaller amount of money, but he forced himself to make sure that he took time and energy and paid himself back and let himself have fun with his short-term fun account. So it wasn't a huge amount of money he was putting in there each month, but it was so he and Elena could go out to dinner, or they could go, I don't know, whatever they were doing, right? So he had two savings accounts as well. And then finally, your checking account. Your checking account is the account you're going to live off of as you go forward. So what do all these numbers look like? Well, here you go. I know this sounds like a lot. We're going to go through it. And you need to understand that these percentages are coming off of the remaining dollars in your account, right? So at the very beginning, our 30, 30, 40, you take 30% as the cost of sale. Okay. The cost of sale, that 30% comes out automatically in the office until you cap. Once you cap, then we are going to talk about that separately, how you can spend that differently a little later on. But so that 30% comes off automatically and you don't have to worry about it. As soon as you get that check, 20% of the total check that you have in your hand should go into your retirement account, 20% of it. The next is your tax account. Of the remaining money after you've taken the 20% for your retirement, 30% should go into your tax account. I know that's a lot. I want to make sure you have enough in that tax account, and I want to make sure that you get to have a nice spring bonus, right? Most importantly is making sure there's enough in that tax account. 30% of the remaining goes in your tax account. Then 30% of the remaining money goes in your business account. You have to do this. You have to set the money in a separate account. If it is in your household account, it will get spent on something other than business. And remember, 30, 30, 40, 30% to the cost of sale, 30% into your business account, right? The next is your short-term savings account, 10% into your short-term savings account. If you have a long-term savings account, I used to put 15% of the remaining into my long-term savings account. And then the remainder is in your checking account. Now you're saying to me, oh my God, there's no money left here. So let's look at the math, because there is money left here, okay? Let's look at the math. We're looking at a $10,000 commission check coming in before a cap. This is before you have hit your cap. So your 30% cost to sale is coming off right at the top, right? So you're getting a $7,000 check to you after a $10,000 commission check comes into the office. So what does it look like after that? $1,400 goes into your retirement account, and you'll see here on the right, it says part of your 40%. That's part of the 40% of the 30, 30, 40. $1,680 goes into your tax account. That's also part of your 40%. That's your responsibility. Business account, $1,176 goes into your business account. That's part of a 30%. Savings account, $274 goes into your savings account. And remaining in your checking account is $2,470 that you get to live off of. Okay. I know that seems like a small amount of money, and it's a portion of what you earned, but you're paying it forward to your retirement. You're setting aside money for your tax account, and you're setting aside money to build your business account. I want you to look at that $1,176 that's in your business account. Remember that number, because when we are talking about our lead generation model in a couple of weeks, we're going to be talking about some of the things that you're going to be spending money on, right? Some of that stuff is we're going to set up a hard mail mailer to a farm and a hard mail mailer to your sphere of influence. Each of those mailings for a year to all of those people is going to cost you about $2,000, right? So here you have set up in one check, and this is an average commission coming into our office. In one check, you have half a mailer set for the year, okay? So what does it look like after you cap? Because that's a big difference, right? So when you cap, which you will cap, I have full confidence that if you take this course and you consistently go through your database, even if it takes you a whole year to get through your database, you will cap. Okay, so let's look at our $10,000 commission check. So let's remember 30% of our check is supposed to go back to the cost of sale. Now, all of a sudden, that cost of sale is coming to you. I am going to give you a little while here. I'm going to give you a little while. If you're at 6 million, you're at 7 million, you're at $8 million in total revenue, total volume that you're selling every year, I'm going to say you're on the edge. Once you hit that $8 million, you need to start thinking about a team. You need to start thinking about the transaction coordination that we have offered at the office, right? All of those things, an assistant or transaction coordination, that's where your cost of sale money will go, right? But for a short time period, until you get to that tipping point where you really need the help in order to handle it and remain sane and still enjoy your business, for a short period of time, 6 million, 7 million, maybe if you're really, really efficient, 8 million in volume, you get to keep that money as a bonus to yourself, right? So if you go back and you look through this, all through the same numbers that were on the other page, now at the bottom, you have $3,500 into your checking account each month, right? But don't fall into this trap. At some point, that 30% has got to go back to your cost of sale to help you to build your business. Okay. So that's our economic model. If you are not doing this already, you really need to. You really need to. You need to separate your life into where you're paying for your future, that you're paying the federal government, and that you are building money for your business. And you need to set money aside for things that happen and things that you want to happen for fun and because the transmission goes, right? You need to have that money set aside. Okay, so pathway to 7 million, what is it? What are we going to be doing here? So we're taking that economic model and we're taking the money that we're setting aside and we're investing it in our business. So return on investment, or ROI, is one of the most important statistics that you should know about your business. So when you're investing into your business, what are you getting back out of it? Right? And the most efficient financial investment in your business is taking the people who already know and love you and getting referrals and leads from them. Okay. Building your database and having that database expect to give you leads is the most efficient way for you to spend your money. I don't know if you were in family reunion this week, but Gary did a class, it was last week. Gary did a class called Smart Database, Smart Business. I am hoping it winds up being one of those classes that everybody can see, even if they didn't go to family reunion. I won't know that until after, I think it's mid-April when those videos will become available for anybody who didn't go to family reunion. I am hoping that's one that gets released because he talks about this, about how your database is the most important part of your business and how you have to make it concrete and that they know who you are and they will always, always expect to hear from you. Right? So what are we going to do in this Pathway to 7 Million class? We're going to work through the left-hand side of your database here, which is your MET database. We're going to go through this and say to our customers and clients that we already have in there that, you know what, we're going to focus on you. We're going to pay attention to you so that we can make ourselves in the forefront of your brain. The National Association of Realtors has two statistics that you need to pay attention to. Every year they do their buyer-seller survey. Every year these two statistics come out. One, no matter how much they know you and love you, people will forget you in relationship to your business, right? You need somebody, the second that they hear that somebody has a real estate need, to say, oh, I need to call Jane Trust Ryan. You need to call Jane. She's the best, right? They will forget you if you don't touch them every 30 to 45 days. You need to be in the forefront of their brain. And in order to be in the forefront of their brain, you have to touch them every 30 to 45 days. Okay. The second thing that they say is that you have to be the first, or at least worst case scenario, the second name of a realtor. If you're the third name, it'll never come out of their mouth. Think about it this way. If you ask somebody to recommend a dentist, or somebody asks you to recommend a dentist, you can tell them the dentist that you go to, most likely. Dr. Kanger, we go to Dr. Kanger. Great. If they ask you to name a second dentist, in my world, I can name a second dentist because my kids go to an orthodontist, right? How many of you can name a second dentist? Some, not many, right? If they asked you to name a third dentist, the majority of people could not do so. So you need to make sure that when your contacts think about a realtor, that you are hopefully name one, worst case name two, because if you're name three, you're not getting that lead, right? So in the first portion of our database pathway that we're working on is this 8x8, building a relationship. So we are going to take the people that are in our database and we're going to chunk them down. So if you have let's say 700 people in your database, we're going to ask you to take a group of them, and somewhere between 100 and 150 people, no more, than 200 people because you will never get all the steps you need to get done. And we're going to ask you to work with that 100 to 150 people in this particular workshop of Pathway to 7 Million. And we are going to take them through what the MREA calls the 8x8. Historically, that was 8 touches over 8 weeks so that you can set and make it concrete in people's minds, right? You're going to saturate them with contact over an 8-week period historically. We have updated the 8x8 to include social media and to include email and to include command. So we have extended that, and it's now, I think, 10 by 10. I think it's 10 or 11 weeks that we're going to be working with these people, and we are going to touch them through every way possible, right? Email, social, hard mail, all sorts of things, so that you are concrete in their mind and they are on simmer, right? And once they are on simmer and they're really ready and they have us as in their brain, right? They're going to fall into here, into our 33 touch program. The 33 touch program is also a standard under Millionaire Real Estate Agent. And what it does is it stays on top of your customers and clients with a minimum of 33 touches throughout a calendar year. And we're going to set you up so that when you leave this program, that these folks are going to be automatically touched through hard mail and through email at least 24 times a year, much more likely to be more than 24 times a year using command, right? You're all going to have automatically set up a reminder to touch them via your voice, a phone call 4 times a year. You're going to get their birthday reminders. You're going to have all these little reminders that are going to come to you. It says, hey, send a text to Joe, it's his birthday, right? Simple things. That's your 33 touch, right? If you put people through this side of your database, these are the people you already have, you're going to get repeat business from them and you're going to get referral business from them, right? This referral business, if you see all the way up here, right, it circles right back to your 8x8. You're going to get this new referral, you're going to build a relationship with them, and then they're going to fall into your database, right? The other thing that we're going to work on through this workshop, I just had brain freeze, is we're going to work on people you haven't met. We're going to help you build a farm. We're going to help you with set up a 12 direct program so that you can build your database by adding people that you have not met before, and that over time they're going to start to know you and understand you and recognize you as the expert in that particular community that you're working on. And then they're going to fall out to you with new business. That new business is going to circle right back up, and we're going to put them through our concreting and our relationship to build our 33 touch so that they come out in the end. What happens here? This is the goal. And if you look at that video that I told you hopefully becomes available, it's repeated again, and you will see it in Millionaire Real Estate Agent. If you do this and you do this consistently and you get everybody that you have met over the course of this year on simmer, and you add new people and you simmer those new people and you put them in your 33 touch, and you stay with your 33 touch and you invest back into your database with your marketing and those kind of things, then you should see a 10% return on your database. What does that mean? If you have as little as 300 contacts in this database, when they have all gone through this program and you are really working them as a professional person, as a business person, you should see 30 transactions from 300 contacts, a 10% return on your database if you follow through this program. If you have 700 people in your database and you get them all simmering and you stay on top of them consistently like a business person, you should see 70 transactions from your database. That does not mean that those people in your database are actually the ones who are going to make a move. That means that they may be referring that business to you, or they themselves are going to make a move. How many of us wouldn't be happy with 30 transactions a year, never mind 70 transactions a year, right? But it doesn't happen overnight. It takes time and it takes work. When people come into this business, they love houses. They come in this business, I want to show houses. This business is about prospecting and setting up systems and making sure that those people who know and love you and those people that you come in contact with in every area of your life know that you're a realtor, know that you're the professional in this world, and know that you want referrals from them. That is what we're doing in this class. We are going to take the next 10 weeks and we are going to execute this. We are not going to just talk about it. We are going to execute it over the next 10 weeks. Okay. We are going to take step by step by step, whether it's a phone call week, whether it's an email week, whether it's neighborhood nurture, we are going to do it, to drag you through those steps and to hold you accountable so that when you finish this class, you are going to have 100 to 150, maximum 200 people who have gone through the 8x8 and who are now enrolled in your 33 touch program. And then you can come back to class D or E, the next one that we have in line, and you're going to take the next 100 to 150 people and you're going to put them through the same program so that by the end of the year, you have not only thought about this, but you have done it. So that in the future and throughout the year, as you're meeting new people, all you're doing is you're adding them to your 8x8, you're simmering them up, you're dumping them in your 33 touch, and they are winding up on the same cycle that everybody else is on, and they are in constant simmer, and they are expecting to hear from you. And not only are they expecting to hear from you, they are expecting to hear you ask for a referral, and they are expecting to give it to you. That is the goal. We are making prospectors out of you, and we are giving you a system to do it. Okay, so what do we need from you? Here's where we're going from here. What's next? Next week, we're going to continue on with this. Our classes are going to be on Tuesday mornings at 11 a.m. It is always on the same link. So the link you use today is the link that you are going to use moving forward. Next week, we are going to walk through the 8x8 program so you know exactly what it is that I'm going to have you do. We're going to talk about what the 33 touch program it looks like, and we're going to talk about the 12 direct program so that you understand what it is I'm going to be asking you to do over the next 10 weeks. And then the week after next, we are going to take those customers and clients in your first group and get them going. Okay, so what do I need you to do now? I need you, or in the next week, I need you to email Christina how many contacts you are going to be working with in this particular workshop, no more than 200 per agent. What Christina and Lisa and the ladies and I in the office are going to do is we are going to put together a package for you with flyers, sticky notes, and envelopes for every one of those contacts that you've given us for this workshop. So if you give us 150 people, there will be a packet for you in next week or so in the office with flyers, sticky notes, and envelopes for those people so that all you have to do is address and stamp, right? We want you to work on getting your sphere of influence in command. We want you to use command. Command helps you send out automated emails to these folks that are not only timely, but relevant information. If you are not in command, but your contact information or your contacts are somewhere else, please contact Christina and so that she can help you load into command. Okay, we want you in command. You have this, you need 2 weeks, you have this. You need these people in command within 2 weeks. So make sure you get that done. Next, we want you to start thinking about a farm area at about 200 to 300 homes that you want to target. You're going to need this in 4 weeks. Okay, so you have some time to think about this. How do you identify a farm area? First of all, it should be something you know, right? Hopefully, the area around where you live or where you have lived in the past, or where you have good, people know you, they know your face. That would be the ideal place to start, is somewhere where people already know you, right? If you can't go where somebody already knows you, if you're brand new to the neighborhood or whatever, okay, so it's not where someone knows you, but pick a good place. The second thing I want you to worry about when you're picking a farm is I want you to look on the MLS. And I want you to identify 2 things on the MLS. One, is that farm area that you're considering does that farm area turn over? How many houses a year or units, if it's a condo community, how many houses a year actually sell in there? Is it something that's having turnover, seeing turnover, right? If it is something that's seeing turnover, and in this market, everything is seeing turnover, right? If it is something that's seeing turnover, I want you to look at the agents who are listing the houses in that neighborhood. If you see the same agent listing all the houses, or if you see one agent that's got 50, 60% of the listings that are going on in that farm area, what is that telling you? That is telling you that that agent is farming that community, right? You need to know that. I'm not saying it's a reason not to do it. It's you need to know that somebody is in there and somebody is farming it. There's two things to think about. Do you want to do it? Right? That's one side. Do you want to go up against Agent X who's got 60% of the sales in there? Right? So that's one side of the coin. The other side of the coin is, what do people think about Agent X? Do you think that people want some break from Agent X, somebody else besides Agent X, right? So that's why you need to know that information, know who's in there and how much they're selling in there. So you have about 4 weeks to figure this out, okay? I want you to think about it and think about it hard. Look and see who's in there. Look and see what kind of business is being done. Next, need to get a roll of stamps, at least one roll of stamps. If you're sending 150 cards out, 150 flyers out, you need more than one roll of stamps. But we're also going to be sending note cards. I want you to buy cheap note cards. Don't get yourself all stuck up with the note cards. Go to, the dollar store and buy a little pack of note cards. You need it. You're going to send every one of your contacts a note card during this workshop, right? So you're going for 200 people, you need 200 note cards, and that means you need 4 rolls of stamps, right? So make sure you have stamps, make sure you have note cards. The first time you're going to need all of those things are, actually you'll need stamps in 2 weeks, and you'll need note cards in 4 weeks, okay? So that's where we are, folks. We're starting to launch. We're starting to get your brain in the right place. We want you to think about your accounting and all of your monies and where your monies are going, and set yourself up for success so that when you start to succeed and when you start to get paid, that you are setting money aside into the right places in order to succeed. And we want you to think about your contacts, how many you have, how many you can take in each segment here, and start working with them, okay? I will see you next week, same time, same place. That's all I've got for you today. Have a good one.